Stop. Put the paper towel down. That white fuzz on your Monstera albo's roots? You're about to make a $500 mistake. Every week, collectors scrub this substance off their variegated aroids like it's a disease. It's not. And what you're about to destroy might be the single biggest factor keeping your plant alive. This white growth has two identities. One of them is your root system's vital biological support network. The other is a slow-moving death sentence. They look almost identical. Most growers can't tell them apart, and that's exactly why they're wiping out the wrong one. By the end of this video, you'll be able to identify which one is colonizing your roots in under 10 seconds. No lab equipment, no guesswork, just a diagnostic method most plant shops don't even know exists. Here's what's actually happening beneath the surface of your potting mix. Your Monstera's root system isn't just a bunch of smooth, straw-like tubes. In a healthy environment, roots develop a microscopic velvet coating of root hairs, working closely alongside beneficial microbes and specialized fungal networks. When these root hairs and microscopic fungal filaments, called hyphae, interlock, they extend your plant's effective absorptive surface area dramatically. Think of it as an underground subcontractor. In exchange for a steady drip of sugars from the plant, this microscopic network goes out and mines the substrate for phosphorus and micronutrients your roots physically can't reach on their own. It's a trade agreement, negotiated at the cellular level. But here's where it gets complicated. Not all white growth on your roots is your plant's infrastructure. A second category, saprophytic fungi, colonizes the exact same visual space. These organisms aren't trading nutrients for sugar. They're breaking down dead organic matter, bark chips, decaying root hairs, old peat fragments. On their own, saprophytes are mostly harmless decomposers. The danger isn't the fungus itself, it's what saprophytic overgrowth signals: excess moisture retention, poor airflow at the root zone, and organic material rotting faster than your plant can handle. So you've got two look-alike growths. One is your plant's actual, living nutrient supply line. The other is a symptom of a substrate slowly turning into a swamp. Wipe the wrong one off, and you strip away part of the plant's ability to feed itself, shocking a delicate albo. Ignore the wrong one, and you're sitting on a root rot timeline that's already started ticking. Here's the diagnostic most collectors miss: the water test and the odor test. Healthy root hairs and symbiotic networks stay structurally intact when submerged. They look like a tight, velvety glove around the root. Saprophytic mold, however, dissolves into a slimy, web-like mush in water. And then there's the smell. Healthy root structures have zero odor, or smell like fresh rain. Saprophytic colonies carry a faint sour, sulfur, or musty mushroom odor the moment they're disturbed. But it gets worse. Because even if you have the healthiest root system right now, two common care habits are actively working against it. First, synthetic, high-phosphorus fertilizers. When you flood the root zone with easily accessible chemical nutrients, the plant has no biological incentive to maintain its fungal trade relationship anymore. It cuts the sugar supply to its own outer root network. The system starves, collapses, and disappears, often permanently. You've essentially turned your Ferrari of a plant into a spoiled artificial system, completely incapable of feeding itself without the next synthetic dose. Second, the panic drench. When a hobbyist sees any white fuzz, they panic, run to the garden center, and drench the pot in a systemic chemical fungicide. That fungicide doesn't discriminate. It doesn't know the difference between a hostile saprophyte and the beneficial biology your plant spent months building. It wipes out both, leaving a biological vacuum. And the bad stuff moves into a vacuum first, almost every time. If you want to stop guessing and start cultivating bulletproof roots, you need to execute a three-part protocol. Pillar 1. The oxygen shield. Saprophytes thrive in anaerobic, suffocating environments. Move your expensive aroids out of dense, peat-heavy soils. You want a structured, chunky mix using coarse pumice, perlite, and orchid bark. This way, even if you overwater, oxygen still reaches the root zone, keeping the beneficial structures alive while starving out the mold. Pillar 2. Nutrient scarcity. Stop leaning on heavy synthetic fertilizers that let roots go dormant. Switch to organic-based, low-phosphorus feeds like fish hydrolysate or worm castings. This keeps just enough nutrient scarcity in the soil that the plant stays incentivized to keep its root network active and expanded. Pillar 3. Careful, localized treatment. If you run the water and odor test and confirm a genuine saprophytic mold issue, don't repot aggressively and strip the roots bare. That physical trauma harms more albos than the mold itself does. Instead, gently rinse only the visibly affected sections with a highly diluted mix of standard, drugstore-grade 3% hydrogen peroxide and water, completely avoiding the rest of the root ball. It breaks down mold on contact and decomposes into water and oxygen within minutes. But it isn't selective, so keep it off healthy tissue. Less is safer than more here. Your Monstera's root system was never just a set of anchors. It's a complex biological engine running beneath the soil line, invisible until the moment you decide to wipe it away. Respect the mechanism. Diagnose before you disturb. And you'll be the collector whose albo outlives everyone else's guesswork. But saving your roots from the paper towel is only half the battle if your soil mix is actively working against you. This next video breaks down the 5 substrate mistakes silently suffocating variegated aroids from the inside out. Click here. Let's fix your mix, and I'll see you there.